I've been working with customers. Some of you may have heard of like what exists in the market today, like Falcon family of models, uh, Bloomberg GPT, and a few others. But I've been helping customers all around the world. I have wrote many books. I have wrote many articles on I speak a lot. I'm based out of New York. I have two boys, a wife, happy family. Right, so let's get started. Just on the record, this session is about generative AI and healthcare, and what I'm going to present has no relationship with my employer, Amazon Web Services. Right. So the agenda, what I have in mind for next half an hour, 45 minutes, is all about AI, whether it's a hype or a reality. I believe there is no more hype when we are talking about AI. We'll briefly touch upon healthcare as our core theme of a healthcare. How would you use AI as a strategy to implement or improve your entire healthcare mechanics? For your hospital, for your doctor, nurses, and in many other scenarios, what you may have come across. And at the same time, what resources out there? Maybe you might like some books, maybe you want to read something, you want to follow some person on a YouTube or whatnot, and then maybe you want to do some courses on AI. All those resources I'll share at the end. Right, so hype versus reality. I believe this is not a hype cycle anymore. What we saw in last 12 months, exactly to be precise, in last 12 months, is all maybe that hype is winding down. If I call Chat GPT launch in the early December of last year an iPhone moment, then in last 12 months we have seen so many improvements into the overall AI sector. That improvement could be coming in the text domain, could be in the image domain, audio domain, video domain, and then many more things, right? So it's not, we are not, or we have passed through the hype cycle and then literally we are in the reality. But who else other than somebody like Andrew Ng, who is the prolific person in the space of AI, has said it numerous times now that AI is like an electricity. What electricity did to us in last 100 plus years, that is what AI is going to do for next 20 years. Maybe 20 years is too short of a time frame, but that is the horizon I am looking at of what impact it will have on our life, similar to what we have with electricity. We don't think twice about electricity anymore. We don't know where it is coming from, we don't know how it gets applied, but we all use it. The same way AI is becoming in that state where we would not care in couple of years from where that AI is coming, how that AI is being developed, how that AI is being used. At the end of the day, as a consumer, we will only love about what AI is able to do. Right? That is where we are heading. So whenever I talk about technology, it always comes down to why we want to build a technology or why this technology exists, right? Instead of we think from a what point of view, we should start with why. And when we are looking at overall leaders who are thinkers, they start with why. Because if you solve why, then the how and what will get solved automatically. So going back to that Simon Sinek's golden circle, start with why. Let's start with why for AI or generative AI, right? Why we are talking about AI or a generative AI today? Why you all are in this webinar? It's almost like Saturday evening for most of you, and then you are here to listen to me. So thank you. But you are here because somebody like Mackenzie has predicted that generative AI could add almost like 2.6 trillion to 4.4 trillion of a value annually. What does it mean? Like in 2021, England or UK's GDP was 3.1 trillion. Just one country's GDP was 3.1 trillion. And if all things are in place, according to McKinsey, who are the best of the best when it comes to the consulting and forecasting, their prediction is going beyond that 3.1 trillion to a 4.4 trillion annual value of a generative AI. Right? So that is the massive impact this technology has. If we are looking at what kind of changes we might see, is definitely one thing is on the paper or on the card on the table right now is productivity gain. And that productivity gain could be anywhere from 15% of a productivity to 40% of the productivity. And if you ask me, I'm old enough, as you saw in my bio page. I've been in the industry for last 25 plus years. I stopped counting after 25, to be honest. But if what I have seen, the early days of internet, this is exactly like that. When the in the days of internet where dot com just getting started, if you think of the companies who got born in the internet era, Amazon, Google, Facebook, Apple existed before that, but the quirks of or the crooks of Apple kind of kicked off because of the internet. Initially, there were a lot of hiccups when we were looking at the history of Apple. So, if we think from that angle, there will be many more companies going to get developed in next couple of years, and some of them will burst, some of them will continue, but we are still in that early stage of the internet, if you ask me from a generative AI standpoint. So that's the reason we are looking at this. That's the why. But how we got here, right? I mean, this just doesn't started on last year in December 1st, where ChatGPT got launched and everything got ready. No, not really, right? This all actually started for many years. It's been going on for many years, but there are few factors got into. One is more slow. More slow is all about chips. Your chips will get shrink and shrink and shrink. You would be able to fit more transistors in a chipset every other year, right? That is how the more slow got developed. And that's why we see the Intel who developed the chips, probably it started all the way back in 80s and 90s, about 8085, 8086 Pentium chipset, and then further more and more chips got developed. So that is one thing. The other thing is all about cloud computing, where anybody, even a college kid or a high school kid, can go and